Well, this is the appropriate time and the appropriate place, and so I'd like to call this meeting to order of the Fremont County Planning Commission. And would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I will call the roll. I am here, and this is August, and Mr. Larry Brown is here, and Mr. Gardner Fay is here, and Mr. John Carper is here, and Mr. Mergelman. You ever been called that? Never. Well, we got a first. All right, Travis is not here, and I believe he's excused. Is that correct? And Dale McCullough is here. And with that, I'd call for has everyone had a chance to read the agenda for our meeting today?
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda for August 6, 2024 as printed.
I'll second that.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Aye.
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 Aye. That is approved. And then we also have the July 2nd, 2024 Planning Commission meeting minutes. Any comments on those? Then I'm open to a motion to approve them.
I'll also move.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Okay. Aye. Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Those are approved. We don't have any unfinished business, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and under that, perhaps what is going to be the schedule now, or the agenda for replacing of our little Chromebooks?
So the Chromebooks, after this meeting, I believe we're going to gather up everyone's Chromebooks. We'll get them over to IT. They're going to try and set up the new ones exactly how your old one, or your current ones are set up. And then we'll notify you when they're available for pickup and get you the new tablets.
Great. Thank you very much for that. That'll be nice. We do have a new business in front of us, which is SRU 24-001 VB BTS 2 LLC Tower, which is to erect a 194-foot self-supporting lattice tower with a 5-foot lightning rod for a total height to be 199 feet. The tower will be located within an 80 by 80 foot ground area. And we have a representative here, is that correct? Yes, sir. Please step up, make sure the green light is on by pushing the button. Introduce yourself and speak to us.
Good afternoon, gentlemen, lady. My name is Mike Bienick. I'm with a company called LCC Telecom Services. We are located at 10700 West Higgins Road, Suite 240 in Rosemont, Illinois. And we represent Vertical Bridge and T-Mobile in this application. As was stated, we are proposing to erect a 194-foot self-support lattice tower with a 5-foot lightning rod for an overall height of 199 feet. One thing you'd mentioned, 80 by 80, it's actually a 60 by 60 is the fenced-in area.
Thank you.
So basically, we are, as shown up on the site plan, or the aerial up there, you can see where we are located on the property. The driveway, there's an existing drive that comes in from the northeast corner of the lot and circles back over there. That's a little bit of a plateau area, and that's why we chose that location on the property. We are located approximately 73 feet from the south property line for the tower. In your packet, we included a fall zone letter. A fall zone letter does not mean that the tower is designed to fall. It's designed in the unlikely event of a failure that it will collapse in a coordinated manner. And that fall zone radius is 50 feet. So it will collapse, kind of like if you put your finger up in the air, you bend it down, the top portion will bend, and then the bottom portion will remain in place, and the cabling will hold the upper portion in place until it can be fixed or removed, whatever the case may be. Could you please show the propagation maps, Dan? Thank you.
Just out of curiosity, what would really be the reason why something like that would happen? I mean, lightning wouldn't.
Lightning is actually not a problem for these towers. They have the 5-foot lightning rod on top, and in fact, towers do get struck quite a bit. That's why the lightning rod, and what happens is they have a grounding bar that runs down, and they put in a grounding ring around the base of the tower, so it actually goes down into the soil. So houses in the area are actually safer to have a cell tower in the area because of that. Here you can see the propagation maps. This is the current conditions. These propagation maps are kind of hard to see because there's such little coverage in the area. But basically the darker magenta is kind of what they're looking for. This is the existing coverage. If you could, yes, perfect, thank you. You can see you get a little bit better coverage up to the north and west is kind of what is gained mostly. And it also does another thing, another goal of this tower is capacity. There's two different types of signals. There's coverage, which is just basically getting the coverage out to the area, and then capacity, which means, for example, Highway 50 has traffic on it, so as that traffic goes through, it's eating up some of the capacity. So this site will help some of that capacity as well. That's basically all I really have. If you have questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. I believe staff has some things they were going to say. So, and I'm sorry, our landlord David Easton is also here in attendance.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. With that, may we have a staff report, please?
All right, hello, everyone. So, as said, we have in front of us SRU 24-001, Vertical Bridge Wireless Communications Facility. The goal of this SRU is to erect a 194-foot self-supporting lattice tower with a 5-foot lightning rod for a total height of 199 feet. The ground area is going to be 60 foot by 60 foot. This is located at 43340 US Highway 50 in Canyon City. The parcel currently has a residential use with one single-family dwelling on it. The surrounding areas are all agricultural forestry. 2 of them have a residential use. 1 of them has an operating travel trailer park and campground as a use. And the parcel has a residential use. The property to the north has a residential use. 1 is being used as travel trailer park and campground, with 2 being undeveloped. After construction, the estimated traffic count beyond residential is 1 trip a month to service the site. We have comments back from CDOT, and basically they just want an amendment to the current CDOT permit that's allowed there. Other than that, no issues. This is in the Tallahassee Fire Protection District. There is no issues noted from the Tallahassee Fire Protection District. They're planning refuse would be pack in, pack out, sanitation's none proposed since this is an unmanned facility, with only having someone on site 1 day a month. No lighting is being proposed with this application as it falls below the 200-foot FAA threshold for lighting. Staff has requested comments from all of the agencies that are normally involved in these type of applications. All comments received have been favorable. It's worth noting we do have a signed weed management plan. The building department stated the applicant will need to approach them for building permits for some of the structures on the site. Engineer, all comments and concerns have been addressed. So then we go down to waiver requests. We have a weed management plan waiver request, but we do have a signed plan in the file. So beyond that, the waivers include sanitation, refuse, landscaping, drainage, and lighting. Staff supports those waivers with the topography, or with the terrain and the natural vegetation up there. Landscaping would be very, very difficult. Drainage, the pad site's super small. Refuse, it doesn't make sense. Somebody's only on site. So the refuse sanitation, so staff is in support of all of the waivers. Having said that, we have found this application is in compliance with the requirements of the Fremont County zoning resolution, and we recommend approval of this SRU with the following contingencies, and that would be the submittal of an amended CDOT permit and red line corrections on the site plan. Very minor standard stuff, and that would be it.
Thank you for that report. Do we have any questions or comments from the commissioners?
I know you make reference to the FAA. Was the airport involved in any of this? I know it's not contiguous to it, but was the local Fremont County Airport made aware that this?
Yes, this was sent to the airport manager, Wes Brandt.
Okay, and he was
Yep.
fine with it. I mean,
Yep.
it's not really in close proximity. The other issue is you've got a helicopter operator on Highway 50 within 2 miles. And I just want to make sure that somebody communicates to make sure the navigational maps are updated to show that on there.
So I can certainly reach out to the helicopter company and let them know of this application.
Okay.
As part of the SRU application process, when this moves forward, the next step, if you guys vote to approve this, or make the recommendation to approve, would be to have it posted in the newspaper and posted on site. But I can certainly reach out to that local business and make sure they're informed.
I think it would be a nice thing to do.
Absolutely.
Not that he should be flying less than 200 feet that far out, but who knows? That's all I have.
If you know him, that is, who knows?
No, I don't know.
The other questions or comments? I did have a question. My question is, the leased premises are a subset of the parcel, as I understand it.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And it's 80 by 80 is what the lease covers, is that correct?
That plus we also have, as you can see, that grayed out area on the right side of it. That is our access and utility easement. We have to bring in the fiber from the road, and it's kind of hard to see. There's the line that comes down kind of paralleling the access and then tees into the compound. That's where the power is coming from. So we have to have the access and utility easements coming as well. It's a non-exclusive easement, so you could drive up there to the tower if you so chose. It's
Gotcha.
not specifically for the tower.
So this is kind of a question for staff. So the SRU is for the leased area or for the parcel?
It will be for the leased area.
Okay, and that's where I've been kind of getting hung up on the horns of a dilemma, because the leased area is 80 by 80, but in our rules, the setback has to be 50 feet. And so with the 80 by 80 leased area, you can't achieve the setback. And so that's why the question. I mean, obviously the property owner and the applicant here today are playing nice together, and lots of agreements back and forth about lease and things of that nature. But so it's really kind of a technical question, and it may be more for edification purposes rather than being dispositive. But it would seem to me that if the SRU is just for the 80 by 80, that what we've done is kind of applied the rules to the entire parcel, which I'm good with, because I'm inclined to grant this SRU. But do you have a comment on that, Dan?
So you're talking about the setbacks applying to the least boundary area?
So part of part of the evaluation that we went through is about setbacks for building structures and things like that. And we said that for a structure, it's 25%, I believe, of the structure height or something like that.
Yep.
And so that results in a setback of 50 feet required. But if the leased area is 80 by 80, then there's no way to meet those setback requirements. Given the postage stamp nature of this property, I'm not sure that anything other than just kind of noting it here and perhaps putting a flag or perhaps questioning Eric Bellis about future applications, how that should be dealt with. But
Okay.
I think we have enough information to go ahead and act on this today.
Okay, yeah, because with this, it's a whole lot easier for me to see on paper than what I'm staring at. So where the SRU boundary would be, that would be to the exterior fencing and not necessarily any structures. There's typically a decent amount of unused space before you get to it, and everything's isolated more towards the center. When we reviewed it, we didn't have any issues with anything that we'd consider a structure being within that setback line.
And as I understand, it's on a peak, and that kind of changes things too.
Yep.
Especially in that rocky terrain.
I can certainly have a discussion with the county attorney and see what they feel about that.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know if we'd be able to get enough lease space to do it otherwise, if you went by the lease boundaries.
Understand that you could always expand your lease. I mean, even if you had a 100 foot by 100 foot, that would satisfy it, I think, or 125 by 125. But I think it's a moot point. I'm not going to raise that as a particular issue. But as something I think that as the county or the planning commission, is something maybe we should answer for ourselves to make sure we know what the answer is. Any other comments, questions from?
Just that, isn't the tower kind of a hybrid structure as opposed to a garage or a house?
Oh, absolutely, and there's a lot of, I mean, it's pretty much transparent, you can see through it, I mean, it's not like it's some big blocking thing. Okay, with that, I'm open to a motion.
I'll move to approve SRU 24-001 VB BTS2 LLC Tower.
With requested waivers?
With staff recommendations.
Thank you. So the motion is to approve with the staff recommendations.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Aye.
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 Aye. And you're welcome. And with that, I think unless there's other business that staff knows about,
No other business.
we are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jason.